Welcome on the Cosmic Atom. Have you ever felt as if you didn't belong? Even with your own blood. As if you were born into a family that could never genuinely recognize you for who you are, how you think, feel, and carry grief that isn't yours. It's as if your spirit arrived decades before others around you. They chuckle while you weep. They settle when you dream. And deep down, you've always known you weren't like them. But here is the reality. They never informed you. You're not broken. You're not lost. You were chosen. Yet being chosen does not provide consolation. It serves a function, a burning sense of purpose in your breast, like being silent in a busy place, as if God is speaking your name while no one else recalls your existence. Because there is always one in each family line and generation. Only one soul, bold enough, and awake enough to break the patterns that no one else could, to bear the burden so that others may breathe. And if you came upon this video today, it was not by chance. You were intended to receive this message and remember who you are and why you were born into that particular family. Because what seems like a curse is really your calling. So stick with me, because in the following few minutes, we'll reveal the reason why there is only one chosen Cosmic Atom. One for every household. And if you're still watching, maybe that person is you. Before we get started, if this resonates with you, click as if it were a proclamation rather than an algorithm. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is your cue. Drop 99 in the comments. As a prophetic number, it signifies the one God abandons while the 99 pursue him. Because you are the one. Now let's go further. Let's be honest. Being selected does not feel like winning. It feels like warfare, the peaceful conflict, invisible to others around you, yet seething inside you. You're not just bearing your own grief. You are carrying the pain that your family has never dared to acknowledge. When you enter into a room, you can feel the vibe alter. Nobody speaks about what you perceive. You see trends and know deep down they end with you. You were not assigned this post because you were the strongest. You were granted it because you were the most eager to face what others avoided, willing to challenge what others blindly believe, willing to suffer if it means the next generation recovers. You forgive those who have never apologized. You instill love where none has been taught. You break habits that seem decades old. Nobody claps for it. Nobody sees it. But heaven does, because you are not punished. You are being positioned. The isolation, that's God drawing you apart to sharpen you in quiet. The delays, that is perfect timing. Aligning your life with something far greater than comfort. Constant tension, that is the weight of fate. Sit on your shoulders. Others were permitted to remain in dysfunction. You were called to make it through it. Because when God selects someone to carry the oil, he permits them to experience the crushing. That is what they do not see. They can see your strength, but not your scars. They can see your light, but not the darkness. You asked God to take the call away, but he didn't, because he knew you wouldn't give up. And maybe you've wondered, why does it feel like I'm always the one under fire? Why am I crying over things that no one else notices? Why is peace so uncommon and conflicts so frequent? Because you're not living only for yourself. You're living for those who came before you. And everyone who comes after you is the bridge, the wall, and the first of its type. There's something more you should know. Something nobody has ever told you. The burden is not the conclusion of your tale. This is the beginning of your awakening. And in the following 5 minutes, you'll understand why bearing this weight was never about survival. It was about altering everything that touched you. Continue to watch. What comes next may explain an aspect of your life that you've never understood before. Let's speak about something that many people avoid: heavenly seclusion, not loneliness. Isolation, the hallowed quiet, a place where everything familiar vanishes, where even those closest to you no longer feel connected, where your own family stares at you yet does not notice you. And maybe it was your tale. You show up with affection, yet they reply with distance. You tell the truth, and they label it revolt. You shine too brightly, and people get uncomfortable. But listen closely. You're not being abandoned. You're being set aside, because the selected ones are never included in the crowd. They're dragged out of it. They walk differently, think differently, see something different, not because they are superior. However, their vision exceeds the limitations of others around them. You can't carry a spiritual task while expecting worldly approbation. Even Jesus said that a prophet is without respect in his own household. Even Joseph had fantasies of monarchy, and his brothers tossed him into a pit not because he was weak, but because they could feel the crown before it hit his head. That is what heavenly seclusion is. God is isolating you from noise, routines, and diversions so he may prepare you in private. Because before God promotes you publicly, he will always conceal you secretly. Think about it. The butterfly does not develop wings in the wind. It grows them in the dark, in stillness, in a cocoon. Nobody understands. So, if you've been feeling like no one understands you, wondering why doors closed and friendships disappeared, why does your own family feel so distant? Pause. You aren't being punished. You are being positioned. Isolation is not the end. It's the link between your history and yourself. Purpose. A hallowed area where God accomplishes his deepest work without acclaim or audience, yet with everlasting purpose. Because this is the secret. The stronger the call, the deeper the divide. Perhaps you're now going through your own spiritual desert. You feel invisible, unheard, and forgotten. But heaven has not forgotten you. It is developing you. God is creating something so unique and necessary that it must be done away from the sight of people. And when your time comes, when the cocoon bursts and the pit transforms into a throne, those who question you will have no option but to watch your ascension. But before it happens, you need grasp one more thing. Something that may explain why you feel everything so strongly and why your heart was built to bear more than others. That truth is what we will discover next, and it may awaken a talent inside you that you were previously unaware of. Had you ever felt that you had a level of awareness that no one else does? Like when everyone else is laughing, you're crying inside while they're distracted by the world's noise. You're listening to a voice that no one else hears as they sleep peacefully. You can't ignore the sensation that something is wrong with your household. It's as if you're living with heightened senses. Every word seems heavier. Each look wounds deeper. Every quiet says volumes. The oddest aspect is that you can sense things that others cannot detect. Your sister's grin does not quite reach her eyes. The stress in your parents' voices, even when they claim nothing is wrong. The storm is developing under the surface of your family's tranquility. You feel everything. You know everything. And at times of crisis, when the globe spirals into chaos while others begin to crumble, you're the one who prays. You're the one who stands, eyes closed, knowing there is something bigger at work. It's not like you're immune to terror. It's that you have something more powerful, a divine sensibility that directs you while everything else around you seems chaotic. This is not a weakness, my buddy. This is the finest expression of spiritual power. You were not born to blend in. You were not born to follow the world's noise. You were born to be the guiding light in your family's storm. The one who sees beyond the surface, who experiences the shakes before the earthquake, who hears the gentle warning before to the flood. God has given you a unique talent, a gift of discernment and spiritual awareness that will transform you into a guardian rather than a victim. You can see the foundation fractures before they break. You can feel danger long before it becomes obvious. And when everyone else rushes to the erroneous solutions, you'll be the one to bring out the truth. Perhaps you've experienced the weight of this sensitivity before. Perhaps it has been a burden rather than a gift. Perhaps you felt as if no one understood how much you're carrying. But listen closely. You were picked for this because those who feel profoundly are the ones who can stand in the gap, holding cosmic atom fort for those who have yet to see you, my friend, or the heavenly watchman above your family. And when the storm hits, you'll be the one they look to. But there's more to this narrative, including why you were given this sensitivity. And once you discover this secret, your perception of yourself will be eternally altered. Let's go into the next level of your calling. Since you don't feel everything is about you, it's about the legacy you're supposed to safeguard. Let us say the truth. Most families are too afraid to say anything out loud. Every lineage has its shadows, cycles that lie in quiet, patterns that repeat generation after generation. Like invisible shackles handed down from father to child, poverty that is seen as normal, an addiction that is hidden behind shame and denial. Emotional stillness that resonates louder than any shout, abuse pushed under the rug, hopes smothered before they ever begin. But then a disruptor is born, a soul so different, so alert, and spiritually wired for battle that it rattles the family tree to its very core. That soul is you. You are not here to continue what was. You came here to put a stop to it, to tackle the strongholds that everyone else had avoided, to experience the agony that no one else dared to express, to look at the mess and declare, "It stops with me." Yes, it hurts. Yes, it is lonely. Yes, you have questioned if it is fair. But please listen. You were never intended to fit in. You were born to rebuild. That kind of endeavor comes at a cost. It is costly to be comfortable. It is costly to belong. It is costly to pretend that everything is well when your soul knows otherwise. But here's something no one told you growing up. You have spiritual DNA that has been programmed for change. Whatever broke them will not break you. What silenced them will only cause you to speak louder. You're not just here to shatter bonds. You're here to construct altars. Altars for healing. Altars of restoration. Altars of truth. Where lies previously ruled. You are the first in your family to declare, "I forgive so that I can be free. I will not bear what was never mine. I will raise my children in peace, not terror. I will provide the following generation a fresh starting." You are the one your ancestors hoped for, even if they never got to see you. You are the answered prayer to another person's quiet cry. You are the reset that your lineage has been hoping for. And although people may not comprehend your path, heaven knows who you are. You are the warrior God sent to the midst of the flames, not to burn, but to draw others out, turning curses become callings, wounded into knowledge, pain turned into strength. And now you're standing at the crossroads of history and destiny. But there is one more reality you haven't discovered yet, a fact that explains why, after all you've been through, you still sense a tug within your spirit, a spiritual tension and celestial restlessness. Because your tale does not finish with a break. It concludes with something considerably grander. And the ultimate surprise is what we shall discover next. They may not notice you right now. They may whisper, question, or ridicule you behind closed doors. Why are you so distant? Why do you always choose the tougher path? Why pray while everyone else is laughing? Why do you feel so strongly? Why do you care so much? Why can't you simply stay normal? But here is the reality. The chosen one was never born to be understood in the present. For chosen ones live for what comes after. While others crave praise, you've been quietly spreading seeds that go undetected and uncelebrated. However, those seeds will eventually develop into freedom. Freedom? Your children will stroll in without understanding how much you spent. Your family will experience freedom without knowing whose obedience made it possible. You're not just making better judgments. You are bursting through unseen barriers. You are excavating wells of knowledge so that no one who follows you will be thirsty again. You are preparing the earth so that future generations may build without bleeding. And when kids question, why is our family different now? Why is peace now considered normal? Why do I feel so safe? The response will go through the lineage like a precious whisper. Because someone answered yes when it would have been simpler to flee, and that someone was you. You are the fulfillment of old prayers, the perpetuation of a heavenly heritage. Your obedience isn't just for today, it is everlasting. The angels recognize your name. Heaven keeps track of your sacrifices, and God has not overlooked a single tear you have wept in private. You are traveling through fire not to be consumed, but to become the flame that illuminates the path for everyone who follows you. And maybe, just maybe, years from now, a kid from your lineage may awaken with fire in their eyes, power in their voice, and tranquility in their spirit. And they won't even understand why. But you will. You'll recognize it because you stood up when it stung. You obeyed even when it was costly. You believed even when it was lonely. You prioritized cause above plaudits. And the world may never offer you a prize. But heaven has already crowned you. But wait, before we conclude our voyage, there is one final reality you should know. One more time to bring everything full circle. Stay with me, because this last epiphany is where everything falls into place. If you've always felt different, distant, or burdened, it's not because you're flawed. It's because you were created to fight. It is because God observed the generations that came before you and determined it was enough. He glanced along your lineage and said, "This soul, this heart, this warrior will carry the shift." You're not a mistake. You aren't too sensitive. You aren't too intense. You have a spiritual code that allows you to do the impossible. Yes, it is a lonely journey. Yes, you've sobbed in rooms where nobody noticed. Yes, the weight has almost crushed you at times. But listen carefully. You aren't wandering alone. Heaven has been with you from the beginning. The quiet. It was not abandonment. It was a strategy. The pain. It was not punishment. It was a preparation. The isolation. It wasn't a rejection. It was a revelation. Because those who bear a heritage must first go through the flames. You didn't simply endure it. It has made you shine. There is something about you that hell has attempted to suppress before you could even talk. But you're still here, still breathing, still climbing. You were picked at this specific moment. So this is my ultimate blessing for your spirit. May every evil that has tormented your family succumb to the light you bear. May your voice shatter the generational silence. May your hands rebuild what fear attempted to ruin. And may your life be evidence that God always chooses the finest fighter for the most difficult battle. You aren't just altering your tale. You are rewriting your fate. And this world has no clue what's going to emerge from you. If this appealed to your soul, if something deep inside you awakened while watching, I want you to remark right now, I am a shifter. You are proclaiming alignment, not seeking attention. You are saying to heaven, yes, I accept it. I accept it. I walk through it. When you do this, you don't just terminate the video. You start a movement. So rise, chosen one. Your time has come. Your voice matters. Your legacy starts now. I'm a shift type kid. Declare, live, and never look back. Dear viewers, your support through Super Chat and membership is the only source of income that keeps this channel running. If you want me to continue uploading valuable content without delays and to stay motivated in providing you with the best wisdom, I need your help. Every contribution, big or small, makes a huge difference. Feel free to donate and support Pure Wisdom so we can keep growing together. Your generosity keeps this journey alive.
If you're enjoying the content on Pure Wisdom and find value in the messages we share, I encourage you to subscribe. Based on the latest analytics, 93.9% of viewers are watching without subscribing. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with new content, but also support the channel's growth, allowing us to continue spreading wisdom for the chosen ones. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important message. Let's build this community together.